Hello, Hannah the Suburban Witch here, and today I'm doing a double deck unboxing from the 2 decks by Ashley Leavey, who runs the Love and Light School of Crystal Therapy. Now we have this first deck here, which is the Crystal Moon Mystic Oracle, and then we have her second deck, which is the Crystal Grid Oracle cards. Okay, so we're going to have a look at both of these ones today. In today's video, as usual with my deck unboxings, I'm going to look at the packaging that the card comes in, the quality of the cardstock itself, what the cards read like, how they look, and how they feel. We'll do a little reading with them at the end as well. So stay tuned. If you're new to my channel, my name's Hannah. I'm an intuitive tarot reader and astrologer, and I love bringing you my witchy tips and all those fun things here on my YouTube channel. I generally release a video every Wednesday, although at the time of this one coming out, I do still have a 4-month-old baby, so I've reduced that down to every second Wednesday just for this little bit until I'm up and running again later this year. Make sure to hit subscribe so you never miss one of my videos, and I've got plenty in the backlog for you to go and binge and run up on whilst I'm slower in releasing them. I'm also getting closer to 10,000 subscribers, which is really exciting, and when I do hit that milestone, I'll be going live, so you want to make sure you've got that bell notification on, because when I go live, I'll be doing some readings, astrology, tarot, that sort of thing for you all for free. Now, you might know I don't do that often, only when I hit big milestones on my social media accounts, so keep an eye on that one. Now, as I said, these decks are by Ashley Leavey. Now, if you haven't heard of her, she runs a podcast called the Love and Light School of Crystal Therapy, and she runs a crystal healing school so you can learn how to heal people with crystals and get a crystal healing certification. She has an amazing blog on all things crystals. Basically, anything crystals, go to her. She is an absolute expert. She also runs a bookshop called Mimosa Books and Gifts, and if you're in the United States, that might be a good, more local resource for you to get some crystals. Let's start with this little deck. It's nice and compact. So this is the Crystal Grid Oracle cards. It's a 48 card deck, and I'm just going to open that. I don't even think I need my scissors today. Actually, that seems like it had one of those, you know when you pull the tab and it goes around on some packets? I think it had that, I just totally missed it. So that makes it a bit easier to open. Now, the initial packaging itself is, it's a small cardboard box. It is not going to be super sturdy. You're not going to be able to keep it in this box forever. So this is actually similar to the deck box that my Rider-Waite-Smith comes in, and I'll show you what that looks like now. So after a couple of years of use, you can see it's starting to get a little bit worn around the edges, and the cards literally just fall out. So I'm actually on the lookout for a tarot bag, so a bag to keep that deck in, because the box itself is not lasting. Same with this, but some decks are like that, and that's totally fine, and it depends on price points as well. Now, these cards are retailing for around about $20, and that's Australian dollars on Amazon, so it's not an expensive deck, which is why you get packaging like this. Let's have a look. Now, the size of the cards is fantastic. If you know me, I often have a lot of trouble with some of the bigger decks. When they're small, they are just so easy to hold and to shuffle. You're not going to have to stretch your hands and try and hold them all together. It's very, very easy to hold them. In terms of how they shuffle, that's a really nice, smooth, gliding shuffle. I really like that. That feels really good. So the cards themselves shuffle really, really beautifully. I really, really like how they shuffle. They are glossy, but they're not super, super glossy, if that makes sense. Again, there might be a little bit of shine if you're trying to take a photograph on a camera for social media, that sort of thing, but they're not too bad. We have some gorgeous sacred geometry on the back of the cards there. All right, so I was going to say there's no guidebook, but I was wrong. The guidebook is in card format. Okay, so these ones seem to be the guidebook in little card formation. So we have what are crystal grids, why use crystal grids, what is sacred geometry. Ways to use these cards, using your cards for an inner guidance meditation. And then she has the inner guidance meditation layout there for you as well. The only thing to keep in mind with these, because they're not a traditional guidebook, they can get muddled up, which is what I did when I first started shuffling with the cards. Okay, so try and keep them separate, but They're pretty easy to pull out. They don't look like all the other cards. So that's easy. Let's just jump into it, shall we? Let's have a look. All right, they're so easy to shuffle. I love that. And I love the colors. I mean, blue is my favorite color, and whilst these are more of a bluey green, it's just really calming. It's really nice. I like it. All right, and they spread really nice. I like that. Note to self, if I ever make my own deck, I want this card stock, whatever she's used. I love this. All right, and the size, I really like the size for my little hands. Okie dokie. So let's just pull some cards and see what pops up. All right, we've got Spirit, Freedom, and Awareness. So I've got 2 purple cards and a blue card. So Spirit says green aventurine, blue kyanite, clear quartz, boulder opal, Veracruz amethyst, amethyst, Herkimer diamond, quartz, lepidolite, and kunzite. Okay, so these are obviously all of the crystals that work in with Spirit. Freedom, rose quartz, phenacite, tanzanite, azurite malachite, lithium, phantom quartz, sleeping beauty turquoise, cavernsite, and azurite. And Awareness has green aventurine, rainbow moonstone, chevron amethyst, black moonstone, white moonstone, and lapis lazuli. So I think what we're seeing here is different layouts that you can utilize with those specific stones. The message is, you know, freedom with spirit and awareness. You can see and hear my little cat has come to join us. You love card readings, don't you, Missy Moo? Hey? Yes, you do. A little bit of personality into my YouTube, say. Show my cat. I'm just going to read her little excerpt about ways to use these cards. Each card in this deck has a theme. The crystals composing each grid were chosen because their properties correspond to the word displayed in the center of the grid. The properties of the stones used in the grid may provide deeper insight into what this card may mean for you or your situation. These cards are also useful as recipes for creating your own crystal grids. You can copy the recipes on the cards, or you can substitute other stones to add your own unique energy to the grid. You can use these cards to charge your crystals with a specific intention. Oh, I like that. I like that. So, for example, here's my lepidolite. I could place that on top of this card and charge it with the intention of spirit or spirit communication. I use my lepidolite generally for dream work and helping me sleep. So this could help me connect with spirit through my dreams. Pop it on my altar and let it sit there. Great idea. All right, let's just do one more and we're just going to ask a little question. Maybe, what do I need in my life right now? Okay, and I'm just going to pull off the top. Vision. Snowflake obsidian, celestite, blue topaz, blue kyanite, iolite, and lapis lazuli. I love all those stones. Those are all third eye chakra stones. Now, when you're making crystal grids, you can just do them on the table, on an altar, in any space. You can use an actual board like what you see in these photographs, or you can print a picture out and place it over those sacred geometry points as well. So there's a few different ways to go about it. The main thing is you have those stones in a specific layout together, okay? They are forming their own little energy pattern in that area or in that space in your home. Now, one thing I don't like about this deck, I'm going to go buy more crystals. I know it. I just know that using this, I'm going to go, oh, I don't have that one, or oh, I want to do this grid. I'm going to need more of that one. And I can just see all my money going to more crystals. When you are buying crystals as well, I just want to make a little side note here. Please look at where you're getting them from. I don't want you to just go and buy the cheapest ones that you can find. I want you to buy ones that are ethically sourced and they haven't pillaged the earth for them. Preferably people that fossick them by hand is a really great way to find crystals that are going to have a better energy about them. So that is the Crystal Grid Oracle cards. I really like those. Let's move on to the next one, shall we? Now we have the Crystal Moon Mystic Oracle, which is a set of 76 cards offering guidance from the moon, the lunar phases, the zodiac, and the 13 full moons of the year, all together in a deck to inspire and provide insight on your spiritual path. Plus, you'll learn about the healing crystals that connect to each of these moon energies and how you can incorporate them into your spiritual practice or healing work. Love that. All right, let's open this up. Okay, first things first, the packaging is very similar to the Oracle cards as well, the Crystal Grid Oracle cards and my Rider-Waite-Smith. So I know that this packet is not going to stand the test of time, especially if you're using them a lot. If you're only using them every now and then, it's going to last you a lot longer. So investing in things like tarot bags or tarot boxes is going to be a great idea. Okay. So instead of a guidebook, we have, let's have a look. Ooh, this is fun. Ooh, hello. What have we here? This is unusual. Moon phases. Okay, so we've got a little poster on the moon phases that you can put up on your wall. And on the opposite side, we have a little card layout as well. And it looks like instead of a guidebook, again, we have... Interesting. All right, this is going to take me a second, guys. All right, so that's those. So I guess that's also part of the guidebook. Ways to use these cards. Pull a card at random at the start of your day. Think about what it's trying to tell you and keep it in the back of your mind. Use your choice of the included spreads and layouts. Place a card corresponding to the current moon phase on your altar. And learn about you can use it to learn about the zodiac and the moons as well. All right, so the back of the cards looks like this, which is interesting because we don't often have an image on the back of the cards. We often have colors or lines or shapes, but we don't often have a person or a figure or words like this. So that's unusual. I like it. It's really cool. Now the cards themselves, they're not super thick and they're actually not glossy. They are almost like a matte, but they shuffle nice as well. Yeah, I like that. They're thinner, they don't stick together, they're shuffling really nice, and they're a smaller deck for my beautiful little hands as well. See? Beautiful. I love that. Okay, they shuffle really well. I am happy with that. Okay, a couple of cards here. So we can see there is Libra. Okay, so there's no real words, but they have little symbols as well. So this one says April. Let me pull up April and see what we have here. So we can see, using this almost like a little key, April full moons, we have the growing moon. So this one would be the growing moon, which is rejuvenation, green jade, which we can see at the bottom there, and symbols are tree branches and leaves. This symbol up the top refers to the modern moon meaning only, which is that growing moon. So I'm going to pull these up here. Symbol there, it's the growing moon at the top. Now if we go to March, this one has a different symbol. And that corresponds with Crow Moon, which is the Native American meaning. Okay, so we have for each of the full moons of the month, we have the 3 options that it could be in these cards. That's cool. All right, I see those symbols now. Then we have just one of the zodiac, like the moons of the zodiac. So those are pretty straightforward. That seems to be how these work. Are there any other styles of cards? Nope, but I'll just pull out any that I think look really cool. That's an interesting one, the December one. So we get those wintry vibes there. So yeah, really, really interesting deck. This is very different to any deck that I've ever used, which I like. I like things that are new and exciting, and it's going to take my mind a little bit to get around it. I really like that. So this is going to be really interesting for me to utilize. I'm excited. I feel personally that I'm going to probably use it to put maybe the moon phase that's currently on my altar or on my desk in front of me, or to use it in meditation on that particular moon and what it means for me, that sort of thing. So let's do a little reading and see how it goes. Now I'm going to use this beautiful thing, spread it out, flatten it out a little bit. So card number 1, personal influence. This card represents where you're coming from, as well as any past influences that may be affecting this situation. However, the primary focus of this card is your personal influence on the situation. What situation shall we look at? I know. I'm in two minds about continuing the breastfeeding journey with my son, who's now 4 months old. It's been quite painful for me with some other issues, such as vasospasms. The blood vessels clamp off and I lose blood supply, and it's very painful. Now, we can look at this. So card 1, my personal influence on the situation. Are you right there, little Miss Kitty? Card number 2, outside influences. This card represents where you're at now or your current situation. However, the primary focus of this card is outside influences from other people or circumstances. Card number 3, things to consider. This card represents where you're going as well as any next steps you should take moving forward. The main focus of this card is things for consideration when making a decision. Let's have a look. Alright, so we have our cards here. This is my first card, which is the new moon. Now this is talking about my personal influence, so where I'm coming from, as well as any past influences that may be affecting this situation. Now if we look at our little card meaning on the new moon, what it says is new beginnings, unexpected opportunities and positive changes. So when I'm talking about potentially stopping breastfeeding, I guess it's where I'm coming from is looking for a new beginning. I'm looking for the unexpected opportunity that would come with switching to bottle feeding, which would be I could do more work. I could give him to someone else to look after for more than 2 hours. And positive changes, I might not have as much pain as well. Crystals to use, golden tiger's eye, rainbow moonstone. That's really interesting. Rainbow moonstone is one that I keep close constantly. It corresponds with my son's rising sign. And it's also the one that I utilized throughout the whole of pregnancy. I was really drawn to rainbow moonstone. The new moon is a time to plant the seeds for those things you wish to create or manifest. This is the time to make plans and stay present in the moment. Make time for yourself and what's most important to you. So I need to think about what's most important to me. Is it continuing to breastfeed even if I'm in pain? Or is it mixed feeding? I need to look at that. So good advice. Number 2, this is the waxing gibbous moon. This one is talking about where I'm at now or my current situation. This card, the primary focus is outside influences from people or circumstances. So the waxing gibbous moon. So we have that here. Keywords: relaxation, celebration, and decision making. Decision making is the current situation. The primary focus of this card is outside influences. The waxing gibbous moon is all about pausing to celebrate your small achievements in life rather than always waiting for the big moments to come. It's about relaxing into the plans you've made and just letting things unfold. Gosh, that's almost bringing tears to my eyes. Guys, that reads really true. Celebrate the small achievements. My main goal was to get to 3 months. We've done that. Anything extra feels just relax into that. Just let things unfold. Okay, so maybe I just try and start mixed feeding. That's sort of what that's feeling for me. Let it unfold, see how it goes. The third card, we have this one here, which is the hare moon. Now this one is things to consider. So where you're going as well as any next steps to make. So things to consider when making a decision. And the hare moon, which is one of the May full moons, we have that little symbol at the top which says it's the modern meaning. So the keyword is action, the crystal is emerald, and the symbols are hares and wildflowers. So with things to consider, and the keyword of this is action, it feels like I've been in this state of indecision for quite a while. I think it's been about a month of me saying, should I, shouldn't I, what should I do? So this might be my time to take an action step forward and maybe start introducing some feeds as bottle feeds or that sort of thing. So something for me to consider and a little bit of insight there into what's going on in my life over here at the crazy newborn times. But yeah, that reads really nicely. Surprisingly, I often struggle a little bit with oracle cards in terms of, you know, if you see just a new moon, like how are you going to read into that? It's a little bit different to the tarot in that regards. Sometimes there's just not as much in the cards. But having this little key card guide, I actually really like that idea. It's good with the oracle cards because there's no, you know, set meanings like the tarot universe where you can, know all of the things and just use any deck. Oracle decks are so different. You just got to go in and figure it out or really, really tune in, which sometimes we don't have time for. But this is really cool. It's a great quick little glance over and I know what the meaning is. I love that it comes with this little poster. That's fantastic. It's really, really fun. I can pop that up on the wall as well. So overall, I really, really like these decks. I think they're fun little additions. The cardstock is good, even if the packaging is not going to last forever. That's totally fine. It doesn't have to. The imagery is really nice. It's simple. They're not overly done. They're not over the top. I do like that. And the price point of both of them is quite achievable as well. So they're an accessible deck for most people. So overall, that's the 2 decks by Ashley Leavey that I've looked at today and unboxed. As always, I'll hope to do a review of these in the future, so keep an eye out for those. If there's a specific deck that you'd like me to look at unboxing or reviewing, please leave it in the comments below. As always, I hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are in the world today, and I'll chat to you next time. Bye!